Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Go ahead, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from, who you a fan of. You a fan of Young Dolph? Let me know. Let's get this thing started, man. So everybody already know at this point that out of all these people in CMGs, out of all 13 of them members and 14, 15 going on more, the tallies keeps ticking up. Somebody out of all of them was telling the whole entire time. It was an informant spotted out of the entire CMG camp that they already knew. And they didn't know that they were so close to Yo Gotti, and it ended up being his brother Big Jook because of the fact that they targeted him and went to him early on because he already had his name in the paperwork, and another CMG dude who tried to run up on Dolph in LA and in Charlotte. Y'all got to understand, man, that 100 shot from Blac Youngsta, that still is in the whole investigation where they're trying to connect all the dots and say, not only were y'all involved in this, but that you got to think of it as how they came up at Gunna and Thug about this whole thing. And so the RICO for CMG, it might be people who's talking about that and they thinking that it's like, hey, it's a thing that you got to think about nowadays because of all these rap groups and the things that they be doing. Why do they have to be getting millions and millions of dollars brought in, but then still involve themselves in all this outlandish stuff that be happening outside where it's destroying the communities? And it's like, and people in Memphis got nobody to really look up to. And so they got to go back to the old heads, to the old school people who used to be preachers and all that and things like that. And so y'all got to understand, though, with this whole thing, they got millions of dollars, but they still involved in all of this. So, you know, it's all about the jealousy, the greed, and not them just trying to get back from their old beefs. Like they never want to, like, you know, put the thing past behind them and move on like a grown man and just carry on and everything like that. And so that's why a lot of people are thinking that the whole issue with Yo Gotti and Young Dolph, the baby mama, and the years and years of them going back and forth, dissing each other in the songs, being in Memphis at the same time, doing the same thing, and basically just the fact that Young Dolph wanted to be his own boss. And so Yo Gotti didn't like that because he thought everybody was going to run to him or something like that because he started getting popping first or something like that. So they thought they were going to go all under him. But really, he didn't expect somebody to boss up and pass him and not want to have to do anything like with him at all, really, you know, because people want to do their own things nowadays. It's better to have ownership than to be always working for somebody or something like that. So y'all got to understand that this goes way back deep and they all know each other. Like Memphis is a small town, so you got to know that all the people in PRE knew all the people in CMG and vice versa. Plus, people in the families, like they done seen each other. Like Young Dolph brother seen Yo Gotti's brother many times. Like they done went into the same shops and all that, and they bumped into each other, and people be giving each other the stanky look, the stanky eye. It's like folks can't get along, but you know, Dolph was trying to make it to where he could work it out, like when he tried to help Moneybagg Yo and everything, but then they ended up flipping on him anyways and going to CMG. And so they just used his buzz. They took his, you know, kindness for to granted because Dolph did a free whole verse for him, and Yo Gotti was trying to get Moneybagg Yo to just give everything up to go under his wing and go with him so he could get the bread for it first before he has to distribute it, disperse it out. That's all what it's about, man. And y'all got to understand at the end of the day that the whole situation has been closely tied between Key Glock, between Big Moochie Grape, and all of them Snoop bands, and how they all knew Straight Drop and how they knew like literally all the people who's been getting caught for this, like all the people that they done locked up. And those guys ended up telling, well, people know them and they done been hung out together before. They used to be in groups together. Like half of them, some of them were in Trula, some of them was on the other team and everything like that. But at the end of the day, though, like their neighborhoods was all close to each other. So people seen each other on the daily. And so for them, it's like what was going on between all of them that just drove them apart like that and decided how people picked sides. People chose to pick sides. And when all of them people pick sides, then it made it to where they were basically giving orders and hits was sent, drills were done, chains were snatched, and Memphis was just going south the whole time until it became what it is today. Like now people, like, they don't even want to have to be out in Memphis too much, you know, if they don't have to, like, unless it's just for work or whatever, right? And just the way that the whole generation growing up, like they was looking up to Pooh Shiesty and Big 30, Moneybagg Yo, Gotti, Dolph, and all of them. And then the way everything is just playing out in itself is just a big lesson for all of them to learn, because they were all chasing that same dream. They was all trying to do the same thing that they all did, because that's all they knew. They thought that was the only opportunity. Then Dolph came around. He was trying to teach them how to do the businesses, the houses, and all the real estate and everything like that. And, you know, that was going to be something up and coming and everything that was going to make everything better. Because you see how even Grove Hero took what Dolph said and turned it into like hundreds of thousands of multifaceted business and helping the communities, getting basketball courts. Like none of the rappers put basketball courts or parks in Memphis like that. Like they just took the bread from, you know, the communities and whatnot, but like they didn't give back as much as like just somebody who was out of the whole picture gave back. Like Grove Hero is a comedian. He's not even getting the rapper upfront checks that they got, like to sign and everything. And so he took his bread and flipped it and did all them food trucks, did all them promos and the whole tour around the country. And then he came back to give back to the community. It's like he didn't get no big time front like all these people did when they signed with Yo Gotti and everything. And then they came back to Memphis just to stunt on folks. They didn't even do nothing to try to like give away backpacks, no type of park. They didn't fix the street that they grew up on. It's still like Blac Youngsta's grandma house still got the whole ceiling caved in. Like they ain't there about to fall into the tornado shelter in the front porch is like already broken down. Like they can't even survive if something crazy was to go down. So y'all got to understand that they did not buy back the block. They did not fix it. The streets still got potholes in them. And they still have missing street signs. You know how people be taking the street signs and everything. It's like Moneybagg Yo's whole old neighborhood. It's like you can't even recognize the streets because people done took the street signs and he don't want to give no money back to fix all of that stuff. But Grove Hero did and this and that. And you see how after the whole Dolph incident, it turned it to where people weren't giving back no more. People wanted to be more just like, oh, no, they don't want to be involved in nothing like that in community because they didn't want to put themselves out there no more. Because that's why maybe they thought that, oh, it was too much of him shining and everything and giving back. And maybe that's what got them even more jealous and all that. That's something that could happen. People, they just be hypnotized by the hate these days. And, you know, just like Boozy said, they be just doing whatever. They hear the songs, they go with their baby mama, they hear it them and this is and that. Their kids singing it and this and that. So at the end of the day, people just going to do what they do if they just got, you know, if they pent up with that much frustration and all that. But it all started from somewhere, and y'all got to understand the people of Memphis, they want to get the justice for Dolph. They already knew that this came from the whole prior situation. They already knew that before everybody did, and that's why the sources were saying things the whole entire time about what's really going on out there. And you could binge watch all the videos that I posted just to see exactly, get caught up with the situation and all the details that really been coming out on what people been saying throughout the whole year. And so with all that being said, man, you have to keep close to this entire thing. And right now it's a lot of stuff coming out about how it was an informant for CMG, who exactly was in the interrogation room with Big Jook, and who was in the CMG headquarters office when it got ran through and the feds swept and they took all the paperwork and computers. And that's when they initially first got Big Jook, and he cooperated and walked into the back of the car with them. They got in the Ford and took off. But it was somebody there who basically wanted to give up whatever they could so they didn't have to be going with them that night. And then that's basically the person that ended up being the informant. They was there the whole time. And a lot of people say it could be the ringleader. But y'all got to basically just pay attention to that. Come back to the channel for the big breaking news update. And I'm going to catch you on the next one.